Hello and welcome to Jim's EV Adventures. I am Jim and we're going from point A to point B. Here we are with the news roundup for November 23rd, 2024. Today we're going to take a look at 4 important stories that should be of interest to everyone. So sit back, relax, climb in, and let's go. The first story we're going to look at has to do with the EV tax credit. And this news story has been popping up all over the web over the past 48 hours. It looks like the legacy automakers might be responsible for saving the EV tax credits. That according to Barron's and several other news agencies. There's at least one advocate in the incoming administration that is pushing to keep the EV tax credit, and this is a good thing. There are several reasons behind this potential shift. Let's take a look at each of them. Ford and General Motors are still losing billions selling electric vehicles, though not as much as they have over the past 5 years. They break even or make money on traditional gas-powered cars, depending on the model, but EVs have been hard to get into the black for various reasons, but partially because of the tariffs that have been imposed on China. The Alliance for Automotive Innovation, which represents many of the legacy automakers, is leading the effort to lobby for keeping the $7,500 tax credit. And here are a few of the biggest reasons for that. Again, companies like General Motors and Ford have had a hard time dealing with the rapidly changing government policies. They commit billions of dollars over decades to plan for model lineups, and it's not easy for them to turn on a dime. So from a taxpayer's perspective, it is easier to keep the tax credit, and that tax credit costs $7 to $10 billion per year, and that's much cheaper than a government bailout would be, which would cost $50 to $100 billion to keep these businesses intact. The second reason is automakers see the trend. Battery electric vehicles are coming with or without the tax credits, period. Battery electric vehicle adoption is slower than analysts had hoped, but battery electric vehicle penetration is increasing every quarter at a higher rate than traditional gas-powered cars are, and credits help lower the prices for consumers. And the biggest reason is China is the world's largest manufacturer of battery electric vehicles. They export their battery electric vehicles to other countries, and it's killing the export of gas cars from USA, Europe, and Japan. The only way the USA can compete in the global market is to have a thriving and robust group of companies that can manufacture battery electric vehicles to keep up with China. The USA cannot do that if the car companies go under as a result of the new Trump administration. It is very possible that the tax credit will be phased out over a 3 to 5 year period and not end on day one, as the bombastic Trump has shouted at many of his rallies to the cheers of thousands of rowdy fans. People need to wake up. It's cheaper to keep our businesses in business in the United States than it is for them to go under and us to have to turn to the rest of the world for our automobiles. Our second news story today is about Northvolt, the Swedish maker of battery cells for electric vehicles. They said on this past Thursday that they had filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection in the United States, dealing a blow to Europe's hopes that its most developed battery player would reduce Western car makers' reliance on Chinese rivals. Northvolt said in their filings that they only have enough cash to support operations for about a week, and said that it had secured $100 million in new financing for the bankruptcy process. It is said operations will continue as normal through the bankruptcy period. Automakers in the United States and Europe had pinned a lot of hopes on Northvolt as becoming a supplier of batteries to rivals like that of CATL and BYD in China. But the company suffered the loss of a major customer, and they had a lack of funding from one of their other key partners, so that they went into Chapter 11 bankruptcy. As of the time of this story, Northvolt has less than $100 million in cash and more than $5.8 billion in debt. They are hoping for new monies from other investors to stay in business. Volkswagen is a 21% stakeholder in Northvolt, the biggest of all their stakeholders, and VW has declined to comment on this situation. In their court filing, it was revealed that they have the capacity to make 300,000 battery packs for cars each year, but they simply do not have the revenue to make purchases of the raw materials needed to get that production process rolling. As of Friday, November 22nd, 2024, the CEO of Northvolt has resigned. This news story takes us to Tesla and Shell Oil. Tesla has converted an entire Shell gas station into a supercharger station for electric vehicles in Spain, and it looks fantastic. One of the favorite arguments of electric vehicle naysayers is that there are not as many charging stations as there are gas stations, making EVs less convenient. Their argument is flat out flawed since most EVs are charged overnight when parked, and they can be charged literally anywhere there's an electrical outlet, which is not the case for gas-powered vehicles. Most of the time, charging electric vehicles is more convenient than refueling a gas-powered car, and that's going to become more widespread as time goes on because there are more charging stations being deployed everywhere, and many gas stations are now starting to close. In some markets where electric vehicles are being adopted at a higher rate, like in Norway, gas stations have been closing left and right, and in some cases, EV charging stations are directly replacing some of these gas stations. Today, we see this beautiful example in Cordoba, Spain, where Tesla took over a Shell gas station and converted it into an EV charging mecca. This final story comes to us from Volkswagen. Despite several new EV models facing delays, Volkswagen's cheapest model yet, the ID.2, is still on track to launch in late 2025. They confirmed this entry-level EV will launch on time, making a new starting point for the German auto giant. And a couple of bonus stories, quickfire if you will. Kia has moved the EV port on their EV6 to the left side of the vehicle to make Tesla supercharging access easier. You're welcome, Tesla owners. And Rivian has become more outspoken on dealerships. Rivian CEO R.J. Scaringe said that dealership franchise laws are as close as you can get to corruption. Many states do not allow Tesla or Rivian to sell cars because they do not use dealerships. This is because of the powerful dealership lobbies in those states and indeed across the United States. Even in Tesla's home state, Texas, the company cannot sell cars out of company stores. Instead, they must sell their cars online. Then they can deliver them at service centers. Thanks for stopping by today. I want to remind everyone that this channel is free. I do not sell subscriptions, nor will I ever beg you for money. If you are so inclined, you can give a super thanks, and I will be most appreciative, but there is never a requirement for money here. If I do a product review, you can count on the fact that I've bought and paid for that product, and my review is open and honest. I will never accept channel sponsorships or paid promotions. That way you will know that the information you get here is unbiased and that my focus is on you, the viewer, not the bottom line. Please do remember to subscribe, share, comment, and like. Those actions will promote the channel throughout YouTube, and that is a big help. Ring the notification bell if you want to know when I've uploaded something new. Remember to treat everyone with kindness, put a smile on your face, help someone today, and pay it forward when someone does the same for you. Again, thank you for stopping by, and I will see you all real soon, or somewhere along the route from point A to point B. Take it easy, everybody.